So today I'm going to test the new Nectar 4. So I've got some vocals, far from ideal. I'll show you before and after.
I'm going out of my mind. I'm going out of my mind. You lock me up, I can't break out of.
And it sounds surprisingly good in the context. So what do we have here? We have an auto level function, we have some pitch correction, which is quite automatic, and we've got some EQ, de-esser and compressor set automatically for you, and some macros that may help to set some space. And then you've got also the new backer module. I'll show you.
I'm going out of my mind.
This generates, using artificial intelligence, some backing vocals. They sound a little bit robotic, but very, very interesting.
I don't know if I can't see that I'm going out of my mind.
You knock me up, I can't break out of here. When they'll find me.
I don't know if I can't.
And I'll add voices to it, so automatic harmonies.
You lock me up, I can't break out of here. When they'll find me. I don't know if I can't see that I'm going out of my mind. You lock me.
This sounds really interesting and quite original. And actually, the correction is good enough for this track. Auto level works well, and the sound overall fits very well in the mix.
You lock me up, I can't break out of here. When they'll find.
But the question is how well Nectar 4 can handle complex vocal processing. And this is an example. This is my mix from like 10 years ago, and this is Claudie.
Find me right.
So this is original sound from my mix. Maybe I could have done something better now, I don't know.
Save me from the rain.
And now I will switch to the raw vocal here.
Look for me in the corners of the sky.
And I'm going to use the Nectar Assistant. So the software will offer me some settings that include compression, correction, de-essing, and probably some reverb and delay, depending on which profile I'm going to choose.
Save me from the rain, for I love you.
So the four main modes you can choose from. Airy is probably the most narrow sounding. Yeah, I think I'll stick to balance because it will give me more body, more depth.
For calculation.
Yeah, I would like a lot of compression. And look, there is also voices used here for Unison. And I can tweak those settings here now, and all those EQ points can actually be dynamic if you want them to.
Look for me in the corners of the sky.
This is reasonable.
Blue and gray and white, of clouds above you. Find me right before the thunder strikes.
And maybe here.
Save me from the rain, for I will love you.
And then I'm going to edit delay and reverb.
Regulations, just for your soul. No.
And you can of course EQ and saturate the reverb.
Just sunrise and go.
And let's listen to the context.
Look for me in the corners of the sky.
Okay, let's compare my original chain.
Look for me in the corners of the sky.
And now Nectar 4. I just added it a little bit, added brightness and saturation.
Look for me in the colors of the sky.
Well, now it sounds pretty similar.
Look for me.
Nectar is also a great tool for those who like to rap and mix their voice with the music. I'll show you. I just inserted Nectar on the voice track.
They wonder how I do it like that.
And I put relay on the beats.
Got ice on the neck, 7 big flex on the checks on deck. They wonder how
So now
two-step
Nectar will send the signal to the relay on the machine beats, and it will create an unmasking preset. It will help the vocal to cut through.
got ice on the neck, 7 big flex on the checks on deck. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. No scarf, got ice on the neck, 7 big flex on the checks on deck. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. No scarf, got ice on the neck, 7 big flex on the checks on deck. They wonder
So
how I
as you probably could hear, the music was carved so that the vocal would be at the front. So it really works well in this. It's a very cool feature.
big flex on the checks on deck.
So I've got the random sample here.
What's that thing called when you...
So I'll just use one of the component plugins, which is called Auto Level. I will toggle the bypass switch, observe the wavelab meters here.
What's that thing called when you... What's that thing called when you...
And one more time.
What's that thing called when you... What's that thing called when you...
So you could hear and you could see with the plugin on, the vocal is leveled. So the quieter words are no longer much quieter. So it's good. It works. So with the higher strength settings and bigger range settings, you would get probably a louder vocal.
What's that thing called when you... What's that thing called when you...
But if you push the threshold too low, it will be too nervous. So I would stay with the suggested settings probably. And you've also got tame noises function. Let's listen in delta.
What's that thing called...
So it actually removes breaths, if there were any, and some S's. And it works pretty well. In this case, it is not needed. As you can see in Ableton Live, I've got my machine track and my voice track here.
What's that thing called when you...
So I'll just replace Auto Level with the Nectar 4 on the vocals, and I will look for some automatic settings. I'll see where it takes me. And what's nice, I can also choose the character, whether it's bright, it should be bright or should be airy. I'll show you in a second.
Led you to this here, right now. You know, it's like when you were at work and you said to yourself, you know, a good, I'm gonna go out. So you put on your favorite shoes or you put on your favorite jeans and you get into the mood and you pull up to the club. It's a long line, but you don't care because you can hear the don't.
This sounds really nice. So now I just need a relay on the machine.
What's that thing called?
I feel the vocals are a bit on the dark side now.
You feel like
And now I also look for some, you know, unmasking settings. So I have to choose the relay on the machine track. The processor will look for the right settings and it will apply it on the relay here. Look.
you said to yourself, you know, I'm gonna have a good time tonight. I'm gonna go out. So you put on your favorite shoes or you put on your favorite jeans and you get into the mood and you pull up to the club.
I think now it sounds kind of interesting.
But you don't care because you can hear the don't outside those doors. And you get that feeling all over again. And you get that chill up your spine because the DJ is playing your favorite songs back to back.
Yeah, now it gels much better. I have a long history working with iZotope, testing their products, beta testing their products, so that way I got Nectar. And at first I was very skeptical because I didn't get my head around version 1 and 2. There were lots of presets and they never fit. I realized that I first had to EQ and compress my vocals, and then maybe I could use Nectar for some creative ideas. And actually there were lots of cool creative ideas, and I'm sure there are here too. But for me, the most important thing is the timbre and the compression of the vocal. So now it lets you it gives you the good initial settings, and you can go from here. You can add saturation, you can add space and depth, and look for the right delay settings, and you've got reverb. And for the most times, in 80% cases, you'll be good to go. The reverb will be just fine. But of course, I've got better sounding reverb plugins. I'm not a huge fan of this, voice correction tools. I think I would prefer to do it in Melodyne, but actually Melodyne Essential is included, so we can do it in Melodyne, and then maybe you can just go for more share vocals if you like. And also I love the Becker module. I think I abused it. I didn't use it the way it was supposed to be for some delicate, background electronic background vocals. I just abused it for some robotic sound, and I love the sound. I think it has a huge potential. So overall, I think I will now switch to using Nectar instead of Neutron just for vocals, because it just gives me more tools. This auto-leveling function works really well, and there are lots of presets. I haven't yet even searched through them, but the most important thing is that it all works, and the masking feature is very, very useful, especially for those who like to record rap vocal, and they need it to, the plugin to fit the vocal over the beats. So basically that's it. And if you liked it, please subscribe, because it will help me out, and I will continue making some good tutorials for you.